Welcome to this very special edition of the KAJ Masterclass Live, the show which ensures that you profit from your time spent here with experts, either through their industry insights, information, or simply learning from them. And today we have with us Dr. Edward Kondrot, a board-certified ophthalmologist and homeopathic physician known as America's leading holistic eye doctor, and we learn from him a lot of things about the eye, about the surprising root causes of vision loss that most doctors miss, from nutrition and toxins to stress and sleep. We'll talk about his proven natural essentials to protect your eyesight and reverse the trajectory of eye disease at any age. Welcome to the show, Dr. Edward.
Oh, thank you for having me on your show, and thank you for that very kind introduction.
You are welcome. Welcome to the show, Dr. Edward. Welcome to India once again in this online form. And I'm sure not just in India, but a lot of people across the globe will benefit from what we are going to talk right now. We'll talk about eye health. We'll talk about how eye vision is connected. One can transform their overall health by just taking care of their eyes. But before that, let's understand a bit about your story, your journey, your background, and also obviously about the India connection, Doctor, so that the audience knows who they are listening to.
Well, I started out as a board certified ophthalmologist, and I thought that I had the skills that I could surgically treat any eye disease. If you had an eye problem, surgery was the answer. Then I developed a severe asthma, and I was taking 3 different medications, and one of the side effects was a very bad tremor. And you can't be a good eye surgeon if you have a tremor. So I began seeking alternative treatments to correct that, because traditional medicine let me down. They told me there was no cure. So there was one homeopathic remedy that cured me of my asthma. And I know it wasn't a placebo effect, because it was actually the 3rd remedy that cured me of my asthma. The first remedy didn't do anything. And so that began my journey to study homeopathy. And interestingly, there's a strong connection to India, because I traveled to India to learn from the great masters there. In particular, Dr. Jugal Kishore, the late Dr. Jugal Kishore. And I spent a lot of time in your wonderful city, New Delhi. And I learned, from some of the great homeopaths, not only Dr. Jugal Kishore, but Dr. Rajan Sankaran, Dr. Ramakrishna from Chennai. I studied in Bombay, all over India. Then I really wanted to incorporate homeopathy into my eye practice. I thought, if homeopathy could cure me of my asthma, why not look at this for other serious eye problems that maybe we don't have an answer for? So that opened up a whole new world for me. And it really has influenced my practice and my way of looking at eye disease.
Absolutely, Doctor. So thank you for that. All those details, and it's quite helpful. So your eyes open to a whole new world, and our eyes also open to so many worlds, but we are not able to take care of them. But first, before we come to the eye part, I want to understand is that, as a surgeon who knows about surgery and all those things, looking at homeopathy side of things, explaining to things, generally, even in India, people will find it difficult to understand, especially with regards to eye. And when somebody says you need this surgery, and somebody says homeopathy could be the answer for that, many people will have their own questions about this. Help us understand from that aspect. You are a very learned doctor. You are a very experienced doctor, eye surgeon, eye ophthalmologist. You know about all these things. So help us understand from a common person's perspective. Listening to it, you are very aware of India. From a rural place also can understand it.
Well, whenever you develop an eye problem, you need to look at the cause. What is the underlying disturbance? And I don't think you should just rush to surgery. Many times you will develop an early cataract and surgery may not be necessary, look for the underlying cause. And that's where I like homeopathy. Homeopathy believes that the body is intelligent. And when you develop a symptom, like a cataract or macular degeneration or glaucoma, there's a disturbance in your body. And homeopathy can treat that disturbance and maybe arrest the progression of the disease, and then sometimes even cure the disease. And this is not new. In the United States, in the 1800s, many eye doctors were homeopaths, and they were treating eye diseases successfully. And I'm not saying that surgery is never indicated. Sometimes if you have a severe injury or an advanced cataract, homeopathy may not help. But homeopathy can always be used at understanding the disturbance, maybe treating that, and then preventing future problems that may develop.
Absolutely. So, doctor, from your point of view, let's understand, what is it that you are trying to tell the world? What is it that you are doing on the ground?
Well, I'd like to share with everyone that when you do develop an eye problem, you should actually try to understand what's going on with your body. The body is more than just the eyes. It's the mental, emotional state. So many times when you develop a vision problem, maybe there's something that you don't want to see in your life. Maybe there's a shock or a trauma. And so you need to address that. The other big factor is poor nutrition. We're poisoning ourselves with preservatives and chemicals, and these can adversely affect the body. So I think many eye diseases can be, I believe that food should be our best medicine. We shouldn't run to petropharmaceutical products. We should look at our diet. Food is the best medicine. I think Thomas Edison said that the doctor of the future would not prescribe any medication, but instead advise the patient on healthy food, diet, and exercise. So I think those factors are really, really important.
Wonderful, wonderful, doctor. You brought that up, and let's take it up right away. You talk about food. This whole debate about food has moved towards, what type of food, vegetarian, non-vegetarian, vegan, and all that. And the whole idea about nutrition has shifted towards debate about weight loss. Help us understand then, how should one understand nutrition, eye health, especially, and obviously eye is related to the whole body. It indicates about things, what's happening within the body or your whole system altogether.
Well, I think the key with nutrition is moderation and balance. There's many different cultures. I'm not saying that you should be a vegetarian. I'm not saying that meat is bad for you, but I think you need to look at whole, healthy food that is not preserved with chemicals and different artificial flavorings and dyes and things like that. You want to have a very natural diet. Certainly, organic food is much better than food that's genetically modified or processed. The other big factor is proper weight. I think obesity is one of the leading causes of many eye problems. Diabetes is epidemic now. And simply, losing weight and exercising will improve your overall health and your vision. So, I think people have to look at basics. I also tell my patients that colorful food will give you colorful vision. If you eat food that has a lot of color to it, carrots, tomatoes, peppers, food that have the color will give your eye, very, very healthy vision. You don't want to be eating bland food, processed food, which has very little nutritional value. Maybe empty calories are going into your body. And of course, the Indian cuisine is wonderful. You have many healthy herbs and spices and variety of food that I think is very, very nutritious.
Absolutely, absolutely. So in terms of, let's look at it from couple of positions. One is a person who is healthy, eye vision is fine, but obviously young people or mid 30s and they want their vision to last. But nowadays a lot of young people I see uh, you know uh, in eye hospitals and going to the eye doctor. Many clinics have opened. How do they maintain their natural vision for a long time? Secondly, people are also developing cataracts because of whatever and other illnesses also. I don't know much about, you will be able to tell. How should they evaluate their present situation? Some may be suggested surgery. Where do they start? In terms of homeopathy, you said things can be taken care, and
I
the
think
rest is the future. How does it all look like to you going forward?
I think we have a whole new generation that's being raised on personal devices and the computer. And there was a turn of the century ophthalmologist, Dr. William Bates, who felt it was really important to use your peripheral vision. And nowadays, young people are not running around and playing outside. They come home and they're on computer games, and they're overutilizing their central vision. And in order to have healthy vision, you need a combination of good peripheral vision and good central vision. So number one, I would say limit your screen time. Limit your screen time. And then two, there's a whole mental and emotional issue now with different chat sites, and I think our minds are being polluted by the internet and what's going on. So that is important too. Now, studies have shown that if you want to prevent the development of cataracts, I think it's definitely related to vitamin C deficiency, taking supplemental vitamin C. When I do missions in India, I find young people who have advanced cataracts, and I think it's clearly related to nutrition. And some studies have shown that it's related to vitamin C deficiency. So, taking either supplemental vitamin C or eating different fruits and vegetables that are high in vitamin C may help, retard the progression of the cataracts. Also, pollution. Being exposed to heavy metals, I think, can accelerate the advancement of cataracts. And proper hydration. One of the best ways to detoxify your body is to drink plenty of water. So if you do live in an environment with a lot of pollution, drink plenty of water to help detoxify your body, to prevent those toxins from accumulating, which may lead to the development of cataracts.
Absolutely, doctor. What about homeopathy? How should I bring, homeopathy to my life, especially when we are talking of eye health? Does it happen only after I have a problem, or can homeopathy come before there is a problem, even if I'm well, or should it? And when does homeopathy come in, if at all there is an eye issue for anyone? How do they evaluate that part? Because many a times the doctor will give some sort of option that you have to do it quickly.
Well, homeopathy, I think, can be used in terms of prevention. So when you first develop a vision problem, you should see your homeopathic doctor. And there are many well-qualified homeopathic doctors in India. And then when you do develop symptoms, or if you develop a cataract, I think homeopathy can be used successfully to improve the vision and reduce the cataract. So homeopathy, I think, should be part of our daily life. It should be used as a preventive measure, and it should be used whenever we do develop symptoms or some pathology. There are many homeopathic eye drops. In fact, Cineraria maritima has been approved by the Minister of Health in India as a preventive measure for cataract. Cineraria maritima, which is a homeopathic preparation. And there are other homeopathic remedies. There was a study done in the United States where it was a retrospective study. They looked at 295 patients with cataracts, and well over half of them improved with homeopathic treatment. So remember, surgery isn't your only option, but it may be required if you have an advanced cataract and you're limited, and maybe homeopathy is not working. But I think it's always better to do a non-surgical approach first. Look at alternative treatments, change your diet. I tell my patients, when you develop a cataract, it's a warning sign, like when the red light indicator light goes off in your car. You know, you just don't simply shut the light off. You want to find out what is going on in my body. What steps can I take to look at the cause of this problem? And so I can improve my overall health and improve my vision.
Absolutely. So, how do people evaluate homeopathy there in terms of how you want them to introduce? How can people evaluate homeopathy in India, which is where homeopathy is much more prevalent, has been prevalent? What can homeopathy do? What it cannot do, especially from the eye health point of view, doctor?
Well, I think homeopathy can be an adjunctive treatment for glaucoma, for macular degeneration, cataracts, inflammation. But I wear two hats. I'm a board certified ophthalmologist and a homeopathic doctor. And sometimes you need the best of both worlds. If you have bad glaucoma, you may need traditional eye drops or surgery and homeopathic preparations to help. So in many times, it's a combination of using both modalities. But in my experience, the homeopathic approach is the first approach that somebody should take. Then consider other alternative treatments.
Absolutely, doctor. You say that eye health is longevity. Can you explain this for the larger audience in their language?
I didn't understand the question. Could you repeat that?
You talk about eye health as longevity, that is related to longevity in terms of your length of life. So help us understand from a common person's perspective how many people are not able to relate it to their overall health, or in terms of overall way their whole health is. Many a times the doctor does check, even if they go for anything else, the doctor will check their eyes and all, but they do not understand the connection what the doctor is trying to see. But everybody knows that eye is one of the important things that they see. They look at the tongue and all, even if it's not related to tongue or eye. Help us understand from the overall health point of view about the importance of eye health.
Well, the eye is an organ that has a very high metabolic turnover. A lot of energy is used and a lot of nutrients. So many times, early health issues will first be detected in the eye. For example, diabetes. You may not be having any major health issues, but the doctor will look in and see signs of diabetes. Or the doctor can look in and see arteriosclerosis. Or maybe they can look in and see signs of liver damage, or inflammation of the optic nerve. Neurological conditions can first manifest in the eye. So the eye is truly not only a window to our soul, but a window to our overall health. So sometimes, a functional disturbance will occur before a physical disturbance. So by that, I mean, you may be starting to get a little bit of blurred vision. The doctor may look in the eye and say there's nothing wrong, but there could be some process going on in the eye that needs to be addressed. The other comment, I think it's really important. Most people feel that the eye is just receiving information. When I look at you, I'm receiving your image. But at the same time, the eye is kind of like a projector. It's projecting your inner consciousness into the world. So if I'm a happy person and I look at you, I'm going to say, he's a happy man. But if I'm angry, everybody that I perceive is angry. So in terms of longevity, if your inner consciousness is stable and balanced, your world is going to be balanced. You're going to be projecting that to everyone that you see and everyone that you meet.
Absolutely, absolutely, doctor. In terms of vision loss, nowadays we get to hear about it a lot because whatever is the reason, either it is the use of many electronic devices or mobile phones and many of the things, in terms of pollution and everything. But how do I uh, get aware? Sometimes we just ignore it. We feel okay, slight bit of difficulty, and it is okay. It happens after continuous use of phone or anything, and then we ignore it. What is the best way to, you can say, be mindful of our vision and also be mindful of if there is a vision loss without being, lazy about it?
Well, I think one of the best things is doing steps to reduce stress, because whenever we're in a stressful situation, whether it's due to noise pollution, visual pollution, dust and particular matters in the atmosphere that are affecting our body, or poisons in our diet, when your body is in a relaxed state, the body has more ability to heal and fight these insults that are coming. When you're in a stress state, when you're angry, certain physiological changes take place where your body is not able to heal. So it's almost impossible to live our life without being subject to pollution and environmental stresses. But we can control our inner stress, by deep breathing, meditation, positive affirmations, all these things. And that can be one of the most important things you can do to preserve your health and to preserve your vision.
Absolutely. Doctor, you talk about, 5 daily habits that people can use to slow vision loss and also see better. What are those, 5 habits that one can remember?
Well, I've written a book called The 10 Essentials to Save Your Sight, and it is a free download. So your listeners can download my book. There's actually 10 essentials, not 5. And you can go to kondrotbook.us. My last name, book.us. But the 5 basics, which I think are probably the most important, is healthy diet and nutrition, good hydration, proper hydration, reducing stress, and doing some type of eye exercise. And then the 5th one would be some type of alternative treatment, like homeopathy, vitamins, nutrition. So they would be the 5 steps. But probably the most important, and I have to emphasize that, is a good, healthy diet. If God wanted us to take vitamins, he would grow them on trees. Instead, he surrounds us by beautiful, nutritious food. And that's what we need to maintain our health.
Wonderfully fully explained that if God wanted, he would have certainly grew all these things on trees, like he has done for us so many things. Now, in terms of trend, how should we see trends in terms of moving? Is it much more new technologies coming for eye health, or is it that the trend is moving towards understanding our body better, eyes better, looking at alternative things like we talked about homeopathy? How does the future look like to you, Dr. Edward?
Well, the future is going in 2 directions. One direction is, modern technology, artificial intelligence, and developing an artificial retina and optic nerve. And the technology is amazing. But on the other hand, it's going in the other direction too. Homeopathy, nutrition, Ayurvedic medicine. All these things have withstood the test of time over many, many years. And I think that we still have to look back at all of the treatments that have served mankind for many, many years. It's exciting about new technology, but then you have to look at our society. With all of the new technology, are we really becoming healthier? I think if you look at people, people are more unhappy. They're more dissatisfied. So in a way, technology may not be helping us. I think we have to reflect and look back at the old ways of healing, like homeopathy, good nutrition, the basics.
Absolutely, doctor. Some people say, that spectacles, you got to wear it all your life. Then there are new technologies which coming that, you can utilize something, some drops, and you may not need specs or anything for say 24 hours or whatever number of hours. That I read about it. I want to understand things about from that point of view. Also, people who have got specs, they're already using it. And medical thing is that you need to keep on wearing it unless there is a major change. Can all this be reversed? What is your experience? Should people start believing that it can be reversed like it is happening? Medical science says something else. Individuals have gone the other way around and actually reversed conditions. So help us understand from in terms of eye health. How should people frame their mind in terms of eye health and what the modern medicine or doctors, because of their own limitations, they will say?
Well, there are many surgical techniques to reduce or eliminate the need for glasses. And for some occupations, it's necessary that glasses may be a hindrance in your functioning. But unfortunately, as we get older, the focusing ability of our eye changes. And many people, when they reach the age of 40 or 50, they develop a need for reading glasses. So I think that, glasses should be embraced when you reach a certain age. Now, I need glasses for reading, for close work, but I can function and do many of my activities without glasses. So it depends on the individual, but there are a lot of new surgical techniques that can help eliminate the need of glasses, which are wonderful for certain occupations.
Right, doctor. So in a nutshell, what is it that you would like to tell everyone with regards to eye health and overall health?
Well, I think your visual system is one of the most important senses of our body. I think that you should do everything possible to protect your visual system. And it begins by, a good, healthy diet, reducing stress, and also understanding that your vision is more than just receiving light. Your vision is also projecting your reality, creating your reality in the universe. So if you're healthy inside, your environment will be healthy externally, and your vision will be healthy.
Wonderful. Wonderfully explained and wonderfully connected, doctor. There is so much to learn about all this from you. And I'm sure a lot of people would want to learn more from you, about you, also from your books. What is the best way for them to do so, doctor?
The best way is they can download my best-selling book, The 10 Essentials to Save Your Sight. They can go to kondrotbook.us, and it's a free download. And there's 10 essentials, and they can learn about my recommendations for a good, healthy diet, reducing stress. And I have a chapter on homeopathy and other therapies that I use in my practice that help people improve their vision and preserve their vision.
Wonderful. With this, it's a wrap on this very special edition of the KAJ Masterclass Live. Thank you so much indeed for joining us.
Oh, thank you so much. It's a real pleasure and an honor to be with you.